Basically, I was sitting down the other day, I wanted to create something just pure, how do I put this? The worst thing that anyone in mankind has ever seen, just pure cancer. Like something that doctors would hurry to get behind those x-ray proof walls when exposed to it. Something that could spread diseases wherever it goes. Just something horrifically toxifying. Like, not even as bad as cancer, but worse, AIDS. Wait, no. Cancer AIDS. But then I found out that my ex had already made a Tinder and that I had already lost this fight, so... The second thing that came to mind was trying to review something, I guess, and the perfect opportunity was handed to me in the form of an email from 343 Industries. That's right. I'm uploading it after a mere year with absolutely no content because I joined the army, and that has been a topic that is saved for a later date. I just want to start off, if my audio fucking sounds like shit, I'm sorry. I'm currently away from home, as you can probably guess, and I don't have access to all of my top-of-the-line fucking stuff to really talk through. So I'm sorry if I don't sound that great because I don't have access to my microphone. I'm literally recording this through my phone. I was absolutely thrilled to hear that I got an insider access for Halo Master Chief Collection on the PC to try out Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. That within the first 24 hours of getting my key, I wrote and recorded everything needed for this video. As you know, this isn't the type of content that I usually make because, as you can tell, I'm actually trying to put effort into this. So how was it? Did 343 live up to the expectations, or will it be another failed attempt? I want you to keep in mind that this is still in the works, but as of right now, yes and no. We will get to that in a minute because I do have a bone to pick on what's going on here. If you don't care to hear the review, I'll leave a timestamp for just the gameplay portion. I want to make it clear that while I'm going to talk a little bit about this beta, while I was writing my script, I took a turn to actually reviewing Halo Anniversary and its flaws as a whole. Starting off, the whole campaign isn't available, as you could guess, since this is just pre-access and not the full-fledged game. I really appreciate the whole Insider program, letting the community basically be bug testers to give feedback. I played both with the keyboard and mouse and a Hyperkin Duke controller, really to bring back the original Xbox days sort of feeling. Since I'm still away from home, I'm using my laptop packing only 8GB of RAM, a GTX 1050 Ti, and an Intel i5 8th Gen. With specs this low, the game actually ran very smoothly, surprisingly, especially for being in what I'm going to call a beta state. I did suffer frame dips here and there, but that's solely hardware reasons. So the missions that are currently out are Truth and Reconciliation, The Silent Cartographer, Assault on the Control Room, and 343 Guilty Spark. On my playthrough, I was on the heroic difficulty with no skulls on, except for on 343 Guilty Spark, because I wanted to spice things up a bit. It started getting a little, boring. 343 has included the option to change your audio to classic, a feature that wasn't on the 360's version of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. I know it was on the original Master Chief version, but still. You can choose this before launching any mission. In the game, you can still switch back and forth from classic to next-gen graphics, but for a lot of the time I remained in classic, both for nostalgic reasons and reasons I'll get to later on. Starting off, we have Truth and Reconciliation. At the beginning, it was noticeably more difficult to take all the enemies out. I mean this in a stealthy manner. The far turret would notice me without me even taking a shot, and that bad boy's way far back. And it would alert everyone while the grunts that are 10 feet away from me just gaze at me and continue patrolling. I didn't really run into any bugs, but I can't say that I really was expecting anything. The one thing that I remember is Captain Key's navigation sucked pretty hard. I got to the last section and nearly had to backtrack nearly to the holding cells again since he just stopped following me. Through these missions, you get a number of encounters with hunters, which are really hard. I just want to say, people talk about the library being really repetitive and difficult, but have you ever tried Assault on the Control Room? For the love of God? But more than anything, there is something that really bugs me about the game. There's a big problem with things that have been an issue in the game since 2011, and even the PC port that came out in 2003. One very small detail is the plasma pistol. If you shoot it rapidly, it will play the sound of the pistol overcharging for about 5 seconds and then just completely drop off. As well as the temperature doesn't show on the pistol itself. The bump mapping and the classic graphics are still horrifically off. In case you are unaware, this port is based off the Gearbox PC version of the game. Yes, Gearbox, like the people that made Borderlands, made the original PC port of Halo Combat Evolved back sometime in 2003. Another annoying problem that still remains is random clipping. I thought it was gone, that they had finally fixed this problem, when all of a sudden when you switch from classic to remastered graphics, the audio doesn't change. Even though you can change the audio settings to play in either remastered or classic at the beginning of the mission, it is unchangeable once you've actually launched that said mission. I don't see why not. Halo 2 Anniversary had no problem with that. With on the contrary, you may say, well, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary came out before that. My point is, why not tweak the problems out that have been bothering me and other people from the community for all this time? A lot of the environments and classic settings still look like pure shit until you shine a light onto the textures. Then you can see the depth of the textures. Long story short, the bump mapping is broken, and it has been broken since the original PC port. If you don't know what bump mapping is, it is a texture filtering process that adds character and an illusion of 3D-ness. It's hard to say if it's running on the same engine, but if it is, I'm pretty sure if we can switch from classic graphics to remastered in a second, why can't the bump mapping be fixed? This isn't a true remaster. All the models, textures, etc. are ripped straight out of Halo Reach unforgivingly. Just look at the Wraith. It has a turret on it that isn't usable because it wasn't implemented in Halo Combat Evolved. Halo Combat Evolved Wraith didn't have any turret on it, just the giant fucking gas can, whatever you want to call it. Since it's just ripped straight from Reach, the turret remains on it. I know this isn't something that's going to change, and thank God Halo 2 Anniversary was much better and original. It's lazy, it's unoriginal, and it isn't pointed to just this beta, but the remaster in general. The problem with it is that in some scenes it's really awkward looking because it's a mix of textures from Halo Reach and Halo 3 from what I can tell. At least they took the time with the shotgun to switch the LEDs from red to blue. I cannot explain how uncanny it is in the cutscenes to see these models with Halo Combat Evolved's original animation, but yet the updated models. Look at Cortana at the end of Assault on the control room.
You all right? Never been better. You can't imagine the wealth of information. The knowledge, so much, so fast. It's glorious.
So, what sort of weapon is it?
What are you talking about?
Let's stay focused.
Another damn problem with the textures. Jackal shields, water, glass, transparent objects such as other shields, I don't know what the hell to call them, the shields that the Covenant set up and hide behind, do not react to damage. You cannot tell if a Jackal shield's damaged or not by shooting at it. It doesn't change colors at all. But on the original Xbox version, this did happen. And whoever thought that the remastered graphics wouldn't cover all the clipping areas in the classic mode can go straight to hell. This problem shows up in damn near every mission. Oh, look at this grunt, I'm about to glock him right in the face. But the wall is missing. But the behavior of the enemies are different as well from the original Xbox version. I remember there was an elite that was patrolling at the beginning of Truth and Reconciliation, but instead of patrolling, he was just running back and forth like a goddamn idiot. One last thing I'd like to add is that on the new graphics, it's much harder to see if an elite's shields are down or not. The only way to tell if it is does it die when you shoot it? But the only effect that you can really see is when the shields dissipate. It does sort of like a burst effect of plasma energy. I don't know what the hell. Yeah. I guess that is what you could call it. while on original graphics the elites would glow, if that makes sense, but the remastered graphics has its perks and isn't all negatives. I know a few things are too late to be changed, but if it's game port to PC and it's already on the Xbox, why not take the time to fix everything and re-release it? That would be, what, a 15 gigabyte update or less and replace the original Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary files? I would even go back as far as adding the original engine from the original Xbox version and just adding the remastered concept to it instead of the broken Gearbox version that we have. It is sad that the game, instead of being in its original form, will forever remain broken from the lack of effort put forth by 343. If you can't tell, I have a strong feeling that Combat Evolved deserves much more than what it got. But what did it really get if it wasn't all bad? Since the lighting and textures of the original graphics are broken, they did make it up in this quote-unquote remastered graphics. I really don't like calling it remastered, as I've already discussed. They just ripped the textures and models and assets from Halo Reach, but still, it does have its moments. The lighting is much brighter, very much brighter, making some areas that are barely visible in classic mode bright and colorful in Reach mode? Yeah, Reach mode, that's what I'll call it. For being 2011, I would say the graphics still hold up well by today's standards for the most part. Just wait though, because I'm not done bitching yet. You see a lot of the models up close, talking of like character models like Master Chief's visor and the Marines. They have this weird grainy, dotty grain filter? Yeah, that's what we'll call it, a grain filter. I don't know what this is sourced from, but still, what the hell? Going through the beach on Silent Cartographer looks absolutely stunning, but still, it's hard to find words to talk lightly of Reach mode. Where it does good, it also fails. On 343 Guilty Spark, take a look on how Classic looks, and then take a look on Reach mode. There's less blood, everything is much brighter, the whole atmosphere is ruined. What's supposed to be an eerie, spine-tingling level now has a feeling like it's lost all meaning. Ironically, in Reach mode, it seems like it's the brightest level in the entire campaign. 343 Guilty Spark was the only mission on my playthrough that constantly tanked FPS. As I mentioned, that's a fault on my end since I don't have access to my battle station and just a laptop. But the reason why I'm pointing that out is because there's more lights, more foliage that's been added to make it look almost pretty instead of the gross, bloody mess the map is supposed to be. Does it look better? Yes, kind of, sort of, in a way, but does it stay true to the original? No, it doesn't, and there is literally no fixing it. By the time Halo 2 Anniversary came out, 343 had their heads on straight and actually did a real remaster, bearing nothing but true faith to the original 2004 release. Which, if I still have insider access, I will gladly make a video on as well, depending on the feedback I receive on this one. This may not be, top of the line, grade A quality content, but hey, it's a first. Last and foremost, I want to talk about Halo Combat Evolved as a whole. Do I think it is a bad game? In no way is it a bad game. In my opinion, it's one of the best of all time. Absolutely legendary. It's without a doubt that Halo's popularity is a sole reason for the success of the Microsoft Xbox. Most would complain that some of the missions are reused, but it doesn't bother me. It's actually quite smart to extend the campaign with limited disc and console resources. Saw in the Control Room 2 Betrayals, Pillar of Autumn, and the Mall, these set of maps reuse the same map assets. 2 Betrayals, on one hand, though, is a carbon copy of Assault on the Control Room, just played backwards with a Banshee. Why I hate playing through some of the levels is silly just for difficulty and mechanics involved. Halo Combat Evolved truly revolutionized the Xbox in first-person shooters. May not be as much as Wolfenstein 3D did or Doom, but for the new millennium, Halo made a historic mark on gaming, and in my book, is one of the greatest games of all time that is being oppressed and held back currently by a lazy port to the PC.
The Covenant believe that what they call the Silent Cartographer is somewhere under this island. The Cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center. The island has multiple structures and installations. One of them contains the map room.
We're approaching the LZ. It's gonna be hot. Get set to cut out the... Touchdown! Hit it, Marines! Go, go, go! Affirmative. Echo 419 inbound. Somebody order a warthog. You know our motto. We deliver.
Showtime!
Okay, let's move out. Let's go find the map room that will show us the location of Halo's control center. It looks like there is a path into the interior of the island. This isn't the map room. Analyzing. This is a security override station for the main facility, located somewhere else on this island. Shut the system down so the Covenant won't be able to lock us out. We should now have access to the main facility. Let's find the map room.
Mayday! Mayday! Dropship Bravo 22 taking enemy fire! Repeat, we are under heavy fire and are losing altitude! Understood. We're on our way.
Chief, Bravo 22 was bringing us some heavy weapons. After I saw we were up against hunters, I thought you could use them. Let's move down the beach. Keep an eye out for any cargo we can salvage. Cliff wall. I'll bet the silent cartographer is somewhere inside that facility. Cartographer must be here. My analysis indicates that the map room should be at the bottom floor of this facility. Let's keep going inside.
Set the table. Engage enemy forces on site.
It'll be easier to hold them off from inside the structure. Can you get inside?
Negative. They're closing in too fast. Negative. Chief, you gotta find the cartographer. We'll keep him busy as long as we can.
Give him hell, Marine. We'll be in a tight spot if we don't get out of here before additional reinforcements arrive. Let's find that map. them off from inside the structure. Can you get inside?
Negative! They're closing in too fast! Negative! Chief, you gotta find the cartographer. We'll keep him busy as long as we can.
Give him hell, Marine. We'll be in a tight spot if we don't get out of here before additional reinforcements arrive. Let's find that map. There. That holo panel should activate the map. Analyzing. Halo's control center is located there. That structure appears to be some sort of temple or shrine, if I've interpreted this correctly. Interesting. A shrine is an unlikely place to put such a significant installation. Cortana to Captain Keyes.
The captain has dropped out of contact, Cortana. His ship may be out of range or having equipment problems.
Keep trying. Let me know when you've re-established contact, and then tell him that the Master Chief and I have determined the location of the control center. We'll be heading there as soon as we're topside.
Affirmative. Full hammer out.
Cortana to Echo 419. The Chief and I are topside, requesting pickup.
Roger. On my way.
Let's get moving. Foehammer, here are coordinates and a flight plan I've worked up.
Cortana, these coordinates are underground.
The Covenant did a thorough seismic scan, and my analysis shows that Halo is honeycombed with deep tunnels, which circle the whole ring.
I hope your analysis is on the money, Cortana. This Pelican won't turn on a dime.
Look on the bright side, Foehammer. The last thing the Covenant will expect is an aerial insertion from underground.